Hey everybody, this is Michelle Baker. I'm going to do a very candid demonstration of the ebook cover project. You are looking at my end result where I mocked it up on a book, and this is my Photoshop collage. And I'm going to start from the beginning and show you how I did my ebook cover. I'm going to show you the original cover, my sketch, and show you exactly what you need to do to achieve um, the requirements for this project. Okay, so if we look at the instructions for part two, which is executing your sketch, let me show you my sketch. Okay, so the book is called Wild at Heart, Discovering the Secret of a Man's Soul. Excuse me. Okay, and what I did is, if you take a look at the original real quick. Okay, this is the original. So it's outdoorsy, he's leaping over some rocks. So I thought I'll just depict another outdoor scene. Simple as that. Okay, so what I've got is just a canoer going down some rapids. These are rocks, and there's probably like some trees in the background and a sky. So I thought, well, with this sketch, I can do a sky as picture one, the rapids, picture two, the canoer, picture three, and maybe put like a tree up here on the rock. That's picture four. So just real simple. And these are things that I know I can find. So let me show you what I did to find the sky. I went to unsplash.com for free quality stock photos, and I searched in the search bar for a sky in the distance. And I ended up taking this sky right here because I knew it was wide enough for the portrait. Everybody's book cover does have to be portrait. So we'll get to that in just a second. So this was my first photo. The second is I just went to Google and I searched for a drone view of a man canoeing in the rapids, and I found one. I liked this angle. 1000 by 667 pixels is big enough because he's only going to be like an inch big in my ebook cover. And then, so he's picture number two. Here's picture number three is a tree on the rocks. I went with this one right here. And if you click on it and you ask it to allow you to have it, I don't need this over here. So I don't care about the watermark for iStock. I just want this tree right here. So I did take the try download and got this picture with the iStock watermark on it. And that was fine with me. So I got the sky, the canoer, the tree, and then the rapids, which is what you don't see here. I went to, I think I just Googled rapids and I found my fourth picture. And so here they are right here. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Here's the pictures right here. But the first thing I want to do is set up my Photoshop document. So let's take a look at the instructions, the ebook instructions right here. And the first thing you have to do once you select the image, the sketch that you're going to recreate, you want to set up your document as 3000 pixels high. We're working in pixels because this is staying on the screen. And I want to teach y'all how to work in pixels in case you're designing for a phone or web. So 3000 pixels high by 2400 pixels wide. If you want this to print at 300 pixels per square inch, if you want to know the inches that this would print to, you divide 300 into 3000 and you get 10. So this is 10 inches high. 3000 divided into 2400 is 8. So it's 10 inches high by 8 inches wide. So it's an 8 by 10 portrait. And that's how you do the math to figure out how many inches this would print to. Anything larger than that might start to get pixelated. But this is staying on the screen, so we're working in pixels. So this is what you have to set up in Photoshop. 300 pixels per square inch or dots per inch and RGB color space. So let's go to Photoshop and set up our document first. So we're going to ignore all of this that I have, and we're just going to go to File, New. So we're setting up a new artboard for Photoshop, and it's important that you get it right, um, the correct size, because you can't go backwards. So if it's too big, you can always shrink it down, crop it down. But if it's too small, it's very hard to take small to large without being pixelated. So it's 2400 wide, 3000 pixels high, 300 um, resolution. Now, it is staying on the screen technically for the project, but I do want the opportunity to print them in the hallway. So typically the industry standard is 72 to 150 if it's staying on the screen, but because we're printing, I'm going to keep it at 300. Now the RGB color mode, that can be converted later for printing, but since it's staying on the screen, we're going to keep it RGB right now, and then just leave the rest standard and hit create. So here's your artboard. I want to bring my pictures, all my original pictures, into this artboard and make a copy and set the copies aside in a folder called original pictures, original photos. So I'm going to hit the shift button and click on all 4 of my pictures. And I'll go ahead and bring in my original cover just to show y'all. We'll compare after I get finished. And then I'm going to grab and drag to the artboard and just let go. Now, it's asking me to size each one. Now, this is about as big as my canoe is going to be. But what I think I might do is, yeah, I'm not going to need him any bigger. So I'm just going to hit commit to that one. The next picture is the tree. I may want it a little bigger. Now remember, you don't have to hit shift to keep your photos in proportion. And that's about as big as I want that one. So I hit the check mark to commit to that transformation. It's going to bring in my third picture, which is the rapids. And this one, I actually want to stretch to give myself plenty of sky to put the title at the top. And so about like that, I want my canoer to be almost in the middle of the page right here. So I'm going to hit enter to commit to that transformation. And then the last picture is the sky. And I know that I need it to be able to cover all of this space right here. So I want to make sure it's deep enough and wide enough so that the grass is underneath the rocks. And it is. So I'm just going to set that about right there and hit commit. Okay. And then here's the original book cover, which may get kind of pixelated, but that's okay. I just wanted y'all to see what it looks like. All right, so I'm going to hide, I'm going to make a photo. Well, I'm going to put these in order. The order that I need them was 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the original at the top is fine. Now I'm going to hit shift and grab all of these and hit Command J. And so I've got a copy right here, and I'm not going to let go. I'm just going to put it in a folder. This is the folder button right here. Just click group, name your group in all caps, original photos. It may seem like I'm being picky, but I'm just teaching you to follow exact directions, because if you work for a firm or for somebody, you have to carry out exact directions. So I want it all capitals, original photos, and I want to put it at the very bottom. And then I just want you to lock it and take the eye off. Now, I don't need this background anymore, but I'm going to leave it there just in case I take something to the opacity like too much. I don't want it to show pixels. So if you have a white background, it won't show pixels. It won't show the artboard pixels. Okay, so I have my original Wild at Heart, and I don't really need an extra one. I have it down here. So I'm just going to hit the trash can button and throw it away. Okay, so I'm going to take the icon off of all of the layers I'm not working on just yet. Okay, if you remember in Photoshop, we actually had a tutorial, this one right here with the deer, and we put a mask on the deer and it removed the photo that it was in and put it in the woods. So it's a real quick way to do an edit. So I'm going to try that real quick, show you how to quickly edit, take this sky out and reveal the sky underneath in this picture. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the quick selection tool and I want to select just the rapids. And that's what I want to select. And I want to keep a little bit of trees and show you how to use a mask to get off the sky. And then all I have to do is just hit mask and it reveals the sky behind it. And then I'm going to edit some of this gray off of the trees. And the way I can do that is by grabbing the brush tool. And I have 35% opacity, which is good. And I have a soft brush right here. And so I'm just going to just click and remove some of the gray. And it may make the tree fade, but that's okay because it's off in the distance. So I really just want to remove that hard gray and just leave a little bit of the trees in the distance. And I could have zoomed in, which probably would have been better. I might have taken off too much. Yeah. Um, I'm going to up my opacity so that I can kind of take off a little more. So I'm just clicking and I think I'm going to go ahead and remove all of this tree. Okay, so I've got the brush tool and took off this tree. I'm just getting some of this gray off so that and I'm there. That's good enough for a faded tree off in the distance. Okay, so now I have my 4 pictures. The task is to collage 4 pictures together and use 3 effects. So using this mask is one effect. And I can actually put an opacity on the sky, or let's see if I like that. Yeah, yeah, I can do that. Just bring it down just a little and leave some blue. The blue's pretty. So opacity, that's the second effect. Took my opacity to 91. And we have a mask. Okay, so now let's bring in the canoer. Okay, so with the canoer, I'm gonna zoom way in. There's several ways I can do this. I can use a pen tool, but I think I want the ability to kind of mask off some of the details and leave some of the waves right here, the crest of the wave, the white splashing. So I'm just gonna use a quick select and see what kind of a job it does. Sometimes the quick select doesn't work that good. Yeah, I'm gonna hit, you know what? I'm gonna try to use the magnetic lasso tool. I think this might work good. Okay, so where the pointer is, I'm just asking it to, I'm pointing to where I want it to lay down a path. And this grabs really good when you don't have a great hard edge for the quick selection tool, but this does take a little bit longer. But in the end, you get, ooh, I don't want that. Okay, I can push it back out with the quick selection. If it doesn't grab exactly what you want, you can always come back and edit some spots. So like I said, the magnetic tool is a little bit slower, but it does a better job of grabbing things intuitively than the quick selection. Okay, I want to leave some of this water and waves. I'm going to edit it out with the mask tool. Um, okay, great. And so I can take the running ants and push anything back out that I wanted, like right here on his face. So with the quick select, I'm going to um, push out. I'm going to do it with a very small brush. So the brackets next to the letter P, the one closest to the letter P, shrinks the size of your brush. And so that's what I did. I just shrunk the brush a little bit so it would do a better detail. Okay, and now I'm going to use the selected mask. And if I go to the top, the transparency, it will show me what I have. I'm not seeing it. Um, I must not have the preview button selected. Let's not worry about that. Let's work at about a 1 or 2 pixels. I'm gonna ask it to smooth it just a little, shift the edge in just a little, and maybe do a very light feather, like one pixel. And then for the output, I'm gonna ask it to make a new layer and then click OK. So I should have a guy on just a canoe right here. And so that means I can now, let me see. I'm going to take the light. Actually, I'm going to bring my canoer all the way up to here. Huh. It took him out. It didn't do something right, y'all. Uh, Let me go back. Okay. Oh, I was on the wrong layer. I'm so sorry. That happens a lot. I'm clicking on the canoe. That's why. Okay. I clicked on the canoe layer in order to cut out the canoe. Otherwise, it was going to cut out the sky. Okay, so here's my canoe. I want to shift in my edge just a little. See that. And we can work it like a radius of like 1 or 2 pixels. Okay, maybe a light feather, 1 pixel, and a smooth. Okay, and with the mask, I'm gonna take out some of this water. That looks so cool. It looks like he's up on a wave. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. Okay, so I'm gonna hit put in a new layer and click OK. All right, and then come back out just a little. All right, so I'm gonna bring him right here where I want him. I'm gonna hit Command T on his layer and show y'all where I want him. I want to stick him behind this rock right here. So I'm gonna show y'all how I'm gonna do that. All right, I'm gonna end up taking out some of the dark right here. So we can do that first. Let me add a mask and work with 100% black brush tool. I'm going to zoom in, and I do need to just use a little bit of opacity, maybe 50%. And my brush size can get bigger, the bracket to the right of the letter P. And what I want to do is just brush over the dark. And I think I'm going to go with a smaller brush. and work with 82% opacity. There we go. So now it's taking it off faster, but also you got to be kind of careful because it'll take the canoe off too, and you'll just have to back up a little bit and fix it. Okay, so I'm taking off this dark water. It's good. And then, let's see, what do we have over here? Anything? Okay, that's the canoe. Anything? Okay, some more. Okay, and now I'm going to get a bigger brush and some low opacity and just kind of, these waves are going to be hidden behind the rock. So I'm not going to worry a whole lot about it. All right, so let me show you what I intend to do. All right, I'm going to take the eye off of the canoe. So this is my canoe picture copy. This is my canoe picture edited. So I'm going to name it canoe picture edited. I have the original, so I no longer need this one. So I'm going to delete that one because it's just extra. The original is in my locked photos. So this is my canoe picture edited. I'm going to turn the light off of him right now so that you can see what I'm going to do to the rock. Okay, I'm going to click on the rapids picture. And I'm going to take my lasso tool. I want this rock. Oh, actually, what would be better is the quick selection. So I just want this rock here about like that. That's all I need. And I'm just going to hit copy and paste. And so this is an extra rock. So I'm just going to put rock in front of canoe. It just helps sometimes when you, and so watch this. When I take the canoer and I put him behind the rock, he actually slips behind the rock like he's passing through. So I could put the the tail end of his canoe also behind this rock too. But what I want to do is kind of tilt him at a crazy angle, like he's a crazy, rapid, wild at heart guy, like the title of the book, and just put some, you know, just a little bit of breaking waves right there, kind of tilt him real crazy. Just, and yeah, that's good enough. Okay, so there he is. And let's see if we can maybe just take him down to like 93 for opacity. And then we may come back into a hue and saturation on him. Yeah, let's play around with that. So let me add a hue and saturation on him. Maybe I'll take the blue down a little bit in his boat. So I'm going to get the finger and I'm going to clip it just to the canoe. I'm going to highlight the boat and just take it down a little bit. That's negative 20, negative 67. Maybe we'll take it to negative, um, that's taking all the blue out, but I think the blue is pretty. So let's just do negative 9. Okay, so I have a mask, I have an opacity on the sky, and I have a hue and saturation on the canoe. That's the 3 effects. So it's really not that hard. Let me bring in my 4th picture, which is the tree. So this is what we have so far. And now let's grab that tree. I'm going to use the quick selection. And I've got the tree. I'm going to use a selected mask. I don't think I was clicking on the correct layer. Let me click on the tree layer, then click selected mask. There's the tree. If I zoom in, you can see the tree. I'm going to take out some of that white behind the tree in just a minute. Um, let's just work at a radius of like 1 pixel. Do a little smoothing, a little feathering, and shift the edge in just a little on the tree. There we go. And then ask it to do a new layer and click OK. All right, now on the tree layer, I'm going to hit Command T, which will help me grab my tree and put it where I want it. Maybe something like this. And let go. It's a little bright, so I am going to take this one down, even though I've already met my effects. And then I'm going to take out some of the white in the background with a mask. So with a very tiny brush, I'm just going to go in between and just kind of click on the white where it's really bright. And it's really not even necessary. So I could take the opacity down even further. So it looks like it's way off in the distance. And that's good enough. This is my collage. I think it looks great. And now I'm ready to save it and put it in InDesign. Now, this is the tree, the edited tree. So I'm just going to say tree edited and hit enter. And then this one's extra. I don't need it anymore because remember I have the original saved. So very simple. So just to recap, started out with a sky, put the rapids on top of it, used a mask to reveal the sky underneath, got a canoe guy, used a hue and saturation on him to just barely dull him just a little bit. It counts. Just showing me that you know how to use the effect. There's the rock in front of the canoe. There's the tree. 3 effects, 4 pictures. All right, so now you file, save as on your computer, on your flash drive. The format is Photoshop right here. And I'm going to make another folder. So let's go to Introduction to Graphic Design, Fall, Photoshop, and I'm going to make a new folder. It's going to be called Ebook Demo Video, so that I know where I'm putting these files for this video to show you. Okay, and I'm going to call this Ebook Demo Video as well. Sorry. Okay, and I'm saving my Photoshop file. Okay, and now for the second half of the instructions. Okay, once you complete your Photoshop file, you save it and then you move on to InDesign. You open Adobe InDesign and create a document the same size as your Photoshop file, 3000 by 2400. And you place your Photoshop file, your PSD file, in InDesign. Don't place a JPEG, place your Photoshop file in there. And then I'll show you what to do from there. So I'm going to InDesign. This is the way it's going to look. I'm going to add this text, the title of the book, and the author in InDesign. So you go up to File, New, Document. And this is where the next box, you tell it how big you want it. So we want 2400 pixels by 3000 portrait. Leave everything else the same, standard, and hit create. And it gives you a white artboard in InDesign. Very simple to place your Photoshop file. You just get the selection tool. I'm sorry, not the selection tool. You get the rectangle frame tool. The frame tool means that you're about to put a picture in this frame box. And so once you drag your frame box, the size of the document, the size you want your file to show up as when we place it, then you go to File, Place, and you're looking for your Photoshop file somewhere wherever you put it. And so I am looking for my ebook demo video Photoshop file. Okay, and before you hit enter, you want to size this to fit. So you go to Object, Fitting, Fit Content to Frame. Object, Fitting, Fit Content to Frame. And it will fit exactly to the frame because it is exactly the same size. So it's perfect. And now I want to put my title up here. So let's just take a look at what we have real quick. Shift W. Okay. I'm seeing a straight line here that's not sure what it is. I don't remember that on the Photoshop documents. I'm going to go back and look at Photoshop. Yeah, it's there, and I don't know why. So it may have something to do with the tree layer. Yeah, yeah, I can fix that real quick. So I'm going to do a mask on the tree layer real quick and get this line off. Somehow, when I did the tree, the running ants kept something. This looks like water, so I'm going to leave that, but yeah, I took it off. Okay, so that's better. So now I'm going to hit File, Save, and it's just going to update it, and it will automatically update it here in Adobe, actually. But just to save time, I'm going to replace it in there. There. Okay, it's off. Okay, so now let's create text boxes for the title. You're going to go over here to the type tool, and I know that I want one for the word wild. I'm going to zoom in. The font is very, very small. You see it's blinking right here, but I want it to be, I don't know, maybe 100. Let's see how big that is. That's not quite big enough. Let's do 150. Okay, that might work. So I'm going to write the word wild. Maybe 200. Okay, so I got the first word, and we want to select our font. I'm going to double click in here and highlight it and select our font. I think I'm just going to go ahead and use just Georgia, just a nice font. Now it's telling me that my text box is too small. Okay, there. Okay, perfect. So I'm using Georgia, and I'm just going to hit Option and make a copy of this text box and double click in it and just write the word at. I want this word to be italicized. Okay. And then I'm going to move it over. Okay. And then I'm going to shrink the text box. Okay. Wild at heart. I want heart to be as big as both of these. So I think I'm just going to hit Option and drag. Oops. I'm going to hit Option and drag a copy of wild right there, but I'm going to extend the box because I know that I want heart to be as big as both of these words together. So there we go. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is stretch um, these two. I think this can go over a little. And this word, I want to do something different with, like do this button, which is you have like all caps, but the first word is bigger. I mean, the first letter is bigger. Um, like that. Okay. And then this needs to be shrank a little. So let's go with like, instead of 200, let's go with 150 for the at word. Yeah, and then I'll just shrink its box a little. Now let's bring it down. Now to make sure that they're level, I'm going to click on the ruler and drag a ruler down and set it underneath the word wild so that I can also know when I have the at word set right on the same line. Okay, there we go. And then I'm going to grab both of these with this shift button and grab this free transformation tool. It's going to enlarge them until I get my T right here the same size. I mean, the same. I want the T to touch the line to line them up. Okay, perfect. And then I'm going to delete this line, this guy right here, and then click on this one and delete it. Now I'm going to select all three text boxes, hit the free transformation tool, and just enlarge it a little bit. Wow, it hard because this, and I'm going to group it together. Now I'm going to align it to the center. Okay, oop, it moved there. Wild at heart, and then I want to put underneath discovering the secret to a man's soul. So I'm going to use this tool here, a line tool, to make a line. I'm going to hit shift so that it'll give me a straight line. And I'm going to hit the thickness about 9, I guess. And then I'm going to just center it. Yeah. Okay. And then I'm going to do a text box underneath. Probably I need like a clean font. So I want this text box there. I'm inside the textbooks, but it's really, really small. You can see the little tiny line blinking. So let's do 72. Yeah, that's big enough. Okay. And then I'm just going to write discovering the secret to a man's soul. And I think I don't know. Do I want all caps? And then like italicize? Georgia. No, I don't want Georgia. I want a clean one. Let's do a clean one, like Arial narrow. And then let's track it out to like a 20. Let's do a 30. And then I don't like the all caps, I don't think. Let's take that off. No, I actually did. I like it in all caps. Okay. And then I'm gonna shrink my text box in and make sure that I get it even. Okay. It's giving me a red light, like like something's missing from, like there's some text that wasn't getting in, but everything was in. So I'm going to shrink it back down. There we go. And then ask it to, okay, I'm going to hit Shift W to see how that looks. I think I can actually shrink this a little bit. I think it's too big. It needs to be like a supporting text. I don't want it that big. Let's go 60. Oops. I didn't get the D. 60. And then okay, I hit Shift W and see. Okay, and I think I want to group the whole thing together and just bump it up just a little bit. All right, and so now I'm going to work on color. Let me show you something real quick. When you have a picture, you can actually come over here to your eyedropper tool and ask it to give you a color theme for the entire picture. And so if you see one that you like, you can hit it. I don't see any green. I was kind of wanting to do some greens and this dark brown. So I think what I'm going to do, since it didn't give me the colors I wanted, if you had liked any of these palettes, all you have to do is hit plus and it sends it into your swatches. But I think I'm going to sample with just the eyedropper tool this green tree. And this green color right here, I'm going to ask it to make a swatch. And I'm going to use that, I think, for the text. For wild. So for wild, let's use green. And then for the line, so I think I have to hit Shift Command G to ungroup. And just for the line, I want to do the green as well. And then let's do for the at, and for heart, I'm going to just give it an opacity of like 60. Yeah. And this as well. Let's do that as well. 60. Um, um, that didn't turn out the same. Okay, I think I just clicked on the text box is all I did. And then I went up here and did this at 60 and it gave me that color that I liked. I'm going to keep that at 65 since it's smaller. Okay, and then I'm just going to come down to the bottom and just put the author's name down here. So I think that I'll just use probably the Georgia as well for this. And I'll have to do something like, I think 30. No, that's not big enough. I think I'll have to do at least 60. Okay, and then just hit by John Etheridge. Hope I'm spelling it right. I would double check it if I was the student turning it in. So I'll double check it, the spelling, Etheridge. Okay, and then I want to just click on the text box. No, I'm going to leave that 100% black, I think. Okay. And then I'm going to center it, wait for that pink guideline to tell me, and it looks good, and hit Shift W to get a full view. All right. Yeah, I think I do need to put an opacity on that. It looks a little off compared to the rest of them. So let me do that. Okay. And then hit Shift W, look at it again. Nice. Okay, so now once you have your collage like you like it, your text in InDesign, it's important that you also save your InDesign file, save as. I'm going to call this one um, my InDesign file, the same thing, ebook demo video, and then hit save. Now, this is very important, this last step. Once you've saved it, you have to package it. You go to File, Package. This is where it tells you everything that you have um, included in your package, and that you've got all your pictures and you've got all your fonts. And so for this, you just hit Package. Now it's going to make a brand new folder, ebook demo video folder, and I'm going to put packaged, so I know this is the packaged file to upload for the assignment. So you hit package and OK, and it takes just a few seconds, and then let me show you what you've got. This is what you're going to turn in. So I'm going to find it for you because I want you to see it. Photoshop and ebook demo video. Okay. It's still packaging it. Let's give us just a second. Okay, I'm just going to make sure I didn't put it in the wrong place. I don't think it takes that long, so I'm going to try it one more time. File, package, package. Ebook demo folder packaged. It's here. Ebook demo video folder packaged. You know what? I'm going to search for it. I want y'all to see where it is. Ebook demo video. Okay. Here it is. Okay, it just went to the wrong place. So let's put it in the right place. Okay, so here's the package. If you look inside this, this is what it gives you. I'm going to turn the icon on so you can see. It gives you a folder with your links. When I click on this, I can see your Photoshop file and all your editing, all your effects. It gives you a complimentary PDF. It gives you your InDesign file, and it gives you your fonts. So I use Georgia, Italicize, and Arial Narrow. And so this is what you have to turn in, this package folder. But in order to turn it in, you have to right click, compress. And you're going to turn in the compressed folder, the little zipper folder. Okay, and so that's the project in a nutshell. Hopefully that helps you to see it. This is what your zip folder will look like when you've zipped it correctly. Upload that. And yeah, and so I'm also going to give y'all a copy of the Photoshop mockup that I got. I got it at mockupworld.com. Let me show y'all where it's at right here on Mockup World. This is free right now, so I'll give you the file as well, a link to it, so you can mock up your hardcover book cover for your portfolio in graphic design. All right, so that's the project in a nutshell. These are the links that you can have and to see exactly what I did. This is my file, and then the mock-up will be right here for you to download if you'd like to have that. All right, I hope that helps y'all. Thanks for watching. Good luck with your project.